the 50 Shades movies are over. Of course, every movie reviewer celebrates, so I decided to do it too. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! F off 50 Shades! Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
Be safe. For as long as we both shall live.
50 Shades Free took from the same director of 50 Shades Darker. We are finally in this review. This is the final movie in the 50 Shades trilogy. Really, they made a trilogy now. Oh boy. I don't want to tell the plot of this movie because basically the plot, I can explain in like 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. They're married, they do more making out, and there is a climax at the end of the film. That's it. That's the plot. I can't even show you like the pictures of the plot because this movie is basically doesn't have a story. Nothing, not even the other two has a story. It's just the exact same old movie all over again. Except this is the final movie. Now they are married and they're on vacation and they do more making out stuff like they did in the first movie and the second movie and the books. I don't even know this movie is worse than the first two. I think all 3 movies are the same. They're all both shit-ass movies. 50 Shades Darker, nothing positive. But which one, those two are like in this movie, you know what I mean? Like the first one, it only has one positive, or 50 Shades Darker has no positives. 50 Shades a grey one. Because the cinematography in this movie done better than it was in the second movie. In fact, the director of the second movie directed this movie. And they shot it in pretty good locations. I'll give it that. But that is totally it. Seriously guys, the acting is still the same from the other 2 movies. Like Dakota Johnson, James Dorman, and now, I didn't mention this in the first 2 movies, they don't have good chemistry. Like throughout these movies, their chemistry doesn't feel like a chemistry at all. They just feel like people talking and making out, and they don't feel like they have something in common, they just make out. Literally, that's it. And this movie is even worse than the first 2 with the acting. I was literally nearly falling asleep. I did watch this movie. I'm not even joking. I watched it and I nearly fell asleep. Because there's nothing happening in this film. Really, this film is the exact same as the first 2 movies. With a bit of a subplot at the end of the movie, which felt very freaking rushed. Yeah, seriously, there's a subplot nearly at the end of the film, which is supposed to tell like the climax of the film. Doesn't do anything. Like seriously, the final act of the movie is just like, it's too rushed. And I'm like forgetting about it. And the makeout scenes are still not sexy. Still the same old makeout scenes we have seen before. There are moments in this film that I'm thinking they should have done that really well, but they failed. There's even a car chase in this film. And it's pretty cool shotty car chase, but guess what happens? They put pop music in that. Not even like music like no, you just go like like the song's not like that, but you know what I mean. They put pop music in a car chase scene. That is not right. At least you're watching Baby Driver. That suits it. Not in a 50 Shades movie. Yeah, it's weird there's a car chase in a 50 Shades movie. That should be a good positive. But no, even a car chase is still awful. Really, there are a lot of subplots in this movie that I'm thinking, they're just lazy writers. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to make it interesting. Like I said in the 50 Shades Darker review. They're trying to make something interesting. But hell no, they made it more boring than it was. And this is the final movie. It's stupid. Everyone should be like, oh, it's the final chapter. It's going to be more epic. No. The final chapter is basically the exact same story as the first 2 movies that were both shit. And this movie is the final movie. And it's still shit. Guys, 50 Shades Freed. I am so glad when the credits roll out. Literally, when the credits roll out, I went out of the theater, went to the toilet. No one's even in there. And I was like, thank you, God, for not making these movies exist. Now I can forget about them. Pretend they never exist. Literally, I'm not even joking. I was so happy with the credits of the movie because the movie's over. That's my biggest positive with 50 Shades Freed, is that when you watch the end of the film, you feel like, thank God it is over. And you can forget about the film. Guys, overall, for the final 50 Shades movie review, this movie is totally the worst movie of 2018. This movie is still the exact same movie as the first two movies, but I don't say this is the worst one of them all, because they all are the worst. Guys, 50 Shades Freed, of course, I'm gonna give this movie an F. I'm not too mad about this movie more than the other two, because I know what this movie's going to be. It's going to be the same movie, and I know it. So I'm not too mad about it, but guys, I'm still hating this movie. This movie's still a piece of shit, but I'm thankful I finished reviewing all of the 50 Shades movie, and now we can get to Black Panther next week. And speaking of that, I still haven't reviewed all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, so instead of just reviewing for Black Panther, I'm going to review them for Avengers: Infinity War. So after Black Panther, I'm just still going to keep going. So I'm going to try review Iron Man 2 next. Guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.